Hello, my name is Georgiana Iulia Crecescu, and I'm leading the initiative called How You Can Become a Leader. This initiative helps people to understand their strengths and motivate them to set realistic plans to become leaders. The initiative started with a written blog article, and now it is followed by several video interviews with leaders from Micro Focus, now OpenText organization. Today for this episode, I have on the line Marchiano Walean, who will talk about leadership. Thank you, Marchiano, for being part of this initiative.
Thank you, Georgiana.
Marchiano, before we start with a few questions I prepared for you for today, can you please say a few words about yourself?
Okay, yeah, so my name is Marchiano Walean. Yeah, I'm born in Indonesia, grew up in Indonesia, but continue my study in Malaysia, and then go to the UTS University Technology of Sydney, where I learned about the major of economics and complete the degree there. So I've been working for Micro Focus now close to 4 years, which is now it goes to the OpenText, leading on the digital marketing teams here, where my role and responsibility is to helps the teams, the APG teams, to become a digital savvy, digital mindsets, and help to innovate in some of the area to be the digital ready.
Hello, Marciano. Thank you very much for this quick introduction. It was super useful because I know you for so many years, right? But I think that it's important as well that people will understand as well what you're actually doing here in the organization. So I have seen that through the years you had several marketing roles, which is impressive. So one of the first questions I have for you for today is more related to your first years of experience. So when you began your career many years ago, did you ever imagine that you would become a leader in your professional or in the organization you work for?
Well, when I started my career, I didn't really have a specific aspirations to become a leader. My primary focus was to learn and gain some experience and to grow as much as possible. But as I go along and gain the experience, started when I start my role as the customer service officer for Apple company. Yeah, so that's where I learned on servicing the product of the Apples. And then I learned when I moved to the Oracle, I learned about the events, yeah, the field management. I find myself that gravitating towards the leadership role where I need to ensure manage the campaigns, manage the agency, and I find it like very enjoyable, yeah, and also challenging to lead the teams to achieve the goal. So while it wasn't something that initially I planned for, but I'm grateful for the opportunities that I had to be able to lead and to be able to lead a positive impact to the organizations.
Thank you for these insights, Marciano. But I'm actually quite curious to understand who inspired you actually to become a leader and why. Because you've pointed out actually that at the beginning you were not thinking to become a leader, right? But at a specific point, probably there was actually a motivation and there was as well a reason. So tell us a bit more.
Yeah, well, there have been many people that have inspired me to become a leader through my career. I think one person who stands out is my first boss, yeah, where I learned this during my internships in one of the local media targeting the youngsters. That's where I see that he take the role. He's become very exceptional leader and mentor, and it makes me took my time for me to understand the strength and the weakness, and it challenged me to grow. And the way that he does, very humble, very supportive, and provide the teams a room to grow, it inspired me. As even though that at the end of the day, there's the accountability, the commitments, but it's such a joy that it give me experience to follow his steps on doing that. So not just him, but couple of the interactions from based on my past experience, it's shaped me to understand like who are the leaders that I wanted to be.
Okay, so Marciana, you were actually talking about that you had many roles and responsibilities during all
Yes.
these years. But have you ever been afraid on the job? Because having as well the responsibility, right? It might happen that sometimes we are put in specific situations, right? That might be a bit challenging. So tell me a bit about this topic. So how you were actually managing things there.
Absolutely. I think fear is a natural human emotions and it's not uncommon to experience the fear. For me, the most significant fear I face in my career is the fear of failures when the project is not able to go on. Yeah. And the afraidness of your taking the commitments. So of course, like you have many pressures from the stakeholders to pressures to deliver the results. But in those situations, I learned that fear can be a powerful motivator, but you need to remember that don't panic. You need to remember that, okay, calms. You need to be able to think outside of the box that, hey, maybe this thing is simple things that you don't need to make it bigger. Yeah. So, and I think the best way is when you are facing some difficulties, try to reach out your peer or your mentors to have a second thought. So, uh, this is the area that you need to realize that, yes, I'm stuck. I'm afraid right now. Pour out to the person next to you to be able to maybe like, hey, this thing is actually you just over complicated. You are just overthink about it. So there is when you start to feel fear, pause for a moment and try to think where you can see differently, where to take a look the different angles of the challenges that you encounter.
So yeah, that's super true, Marciano. And honestly, I was actually feeling it as well on my skin. So I always try to avoid these kinds of situations by consulting as well my mentor. So again, yeah, the mentor or our peers, right, might be actually the solutions helping us as
Yeah.
well to go through this challenging time. On the other side, Marciano, I have as well for you the final question. So, can you please tell me how you balance your career, personal life, and passions? Is there such a thing as balance for you there?
Yeah, I would say yes. Okay. Uh, if okay, so something that maybe goes by my belief. Yep. Let me to share this. Okay, sorry, give me a moment. So I think to balance if we are talking about the balance, yeah, we need to take a look from the perspective of do whatever you can do to making things simple. Yeah. So not try to offer complicated things. If it's something that can be made simple, just make it simple. Yeah. So and then facilitate the innovations. You will surprise that by facilitating the innovations you can save some of the productivities. You can save that the things that you've been doing you've been doing a longer routes. You can maybe you can shorten it up. Yeah. And focus on the problem solving. I think that is the key. Instead of adding more complexity, you can be more focused on the user experience, for example, especially on the digital space. At the end of the day, is not the way that we think it is supposed to be, but is the way that where everybody is able to understand. That will be the goal. And risk taking, but not reckless. You need to take a look in terms of uh, understanding where is this is the idea that could be maybe applicable for now. Could be the ideas that maybe can be implemented for the next time when everything's ready, for example. And lastly, recognize personal limits. Again, there is a time that you should pause and think and reach out to your peers, reach out to the mentors, ask for some help. That's how I think you can try to balance for that.
Thank you, Marciano, for these insights. And I hope that through the experience Marciano shared today, we inspired a lot of people, and hope some of you already wish to become a leader. So thank you, Marciano, again for being part of the initiative. And thank you to everyone watching the initiative. Stay tuned. There will be some new episodes. So thank you, Marciano.
Thank you.